All right, man. Welcome back to the UGC Flame. I am your host, the Black Horseman. I got a flame of shame today. Um, two for sure. Actually, I think I got about three flame of shames today. But this flame series continues. We flame for a reason, not a short season. And one of the reasons why we flame on this side and bring certain attention to the sport is because of the is one of the reasons because of the topic that we have today. It is what 6:20 a.m. July 10th, 2025. And for as long as I've been watching this sport, this has been a common issue. This has been a common denominator um, in this sport. And in particular, a group of people in boxing, it just can't stop cheating, man. It can't stop cheating. It can't stop doing things to give themselves an advantage to be victorious. The two people that are getting flamed today. First one I'm gonna start off with is Francisco Rodriguez, man. For the ones that's tuning in, catching this, if you're live in 2025, hit the like button, man. Show some love. You know what I mean? Let's bring awareness to this topic because it's a very important topic. It's a very, very brutal sport. And I don't see any crime in wanting to see a fair fight. I don't see what the big deal is when we want to bring awareness to a fighter who didn't want to do it the fair way. So we're going to talk about it. Let's start with Francisco Rodriguez. I'm going to share my screen. This content or this information I'm going to be sharing is for educational purposes only, criticism, stuff like that, fair use. So thank y'all once more. Let me get this shared real quick. So there's a particular article here, very interesting article that I want to actually go through. It's highlighting the victory or tainted victory that is of Francisco Rodriguez, who upset the upcoming star out of the UK by the name of Galal Yafai, if I'm saying that correctly. So bear with me briefly as I go through this article. It says the fight took place on June 21st, 2025 in Birmingham, where the Mexican boxer Francisco Rodriguez, who had a record of 40 wins, 6 losses, 1 draw, 27 knockouts, he says he stunned the crowd with his victory, unanimous decision victory over British Olympian Galal Yafai, who record had been changed to 9-1. He was undefeated, but now he's 9-1 after his loss to Rodriguez. It says here he had claimed the WC interim flyweight title after he had defeated former champ Sonny Edwards. So he had the interim belt. Since Rodriguez's performance was nothing short of remarkable, a division record 575 punches landed from 1,089 thrown, according to CompuBox. It felt like the rebirth of a career many had already written off. Expectations immediately turned to a showdown with Kenshiro Taraji, but on Wednesday, the story changed. Promoter Matchroom announced Rodriguez tested positive in a post-fight doping control. The Voluntary Anti-Doping Association (VADA) flagged the adverse analytical finding, and the case now sits with the British Boxing Board of Control, BFC, and the WBC, both of whom await results from the B sample. So, Here's a paragraph. It says, in less than two fighters from Reynoso's camp have tested positive for banned substances. Jaime Munguia from Tijuana failed a test after his May 4th bout in Riyadh. Both his A and B samples confirmed the presence of exogenous testosterone. The matter remains under review. Concerns had already been raised. So his B sample came back negative, positive as well for this exogenous testosterone. And we're still waiting to see if he's going to be suspended or what they're going to do to handle that. So that'll be interesting. Says now Rodriguez finds himself in the same controversial company. Though their weight classes and careers differ, the common denominator is unmistakable: their training team. The Reynoso connection is under the microscope once more. For the ones that has been following this channel, man, for years or just lately, um, I did a video on Jaime Munguia. I try to produce content anytime I see a report of an adverse finding, especially of a fight that I, watched and things like that. But yeah, the common denominator as of lately has been this Reynoso camp. I talked about it in my previous video when I was flaming Jose Benavidez Jr. and Jaime Munguia, and clearly, you know, let me get to this next paragraph. This is not the first time questions have surrounded Reynoso's circle. In 2018, Canelo Alvarez tested positive for clenbuterol. His team blamed contaminated meat, a defense accepted by the Nevada Athletic Commission, though the fighter was suspended for 6 months. So it's crazy, man. Canelo, because of his status, he tested positive. The Nevada State Athletic Commission, uh, I guess accepted that excuse and only suspended him for 6 months. When in actuality, when these fighters cheat, it should be suspension longer than that. It should be a more firm punishment to where these dudes don't even think about doing the shit again. It talks about in 2021, Oscar Valdez tested positive for phentermine ahead of his WBC super featherweight title defense. Despite the result, he was allowed to fight. And yeah, that was against, what was the dude name? Robson Consequia. He fought Robson Consequia. Robson Consequia still wanted the fight to go ahead, and he ended up losing anyway. So um, that was in 2021. So this is going through a list of the Reynoso fighters. Says each case has been treated individually. Some were dismissed accidents, others blamed on lab errors. But as the numbers grow, the context no longer allows for automatic innocence. Says Mexican boxing, long revered for its courage, is now confronting a different narrative, one of systemic doping. That is a very, very that is a very, very key sentence right there, man, in that paragraph. It says Mexican boxing, long revered for its courage, is now confronting a different narrative, one of systemic doping. you know and you can't blame nobody for questioning this shit, because it's been fight after fight, fighter after fighter. But the common denominator remains is that it's a lot of them is coming from the same camp. So here Oscar De La Hoya even wanted to be vocal about it, and we know Oscar De La Hoya is going to speak up about it because his former fighter that he used to have on his promotional stable, Canelo Alvarez, works with Reynoso, and Oscar and Canelo are no longer cool. So now Oscar want to, air out all his dirty laundry and want to broadcast and say something anytime, a fighter pops out of the Reynoso camp. But Oscar is not as vocal when one of his own pops. Like when Ryan popped, he didn't have the same energy. Um, he did not have the same energy. As a matter of fact, Ryan's fans and Oscar De La Hoya, the Golden Boy fans, they all celebrated. They threw parties. Even despite the result coming out that Ryan Garcia failed his test, they said, "Oh, it was only a little bit. Um, it would have been the same result either way." You know, a bunch of the lame excuses that they normally come up with to defend their fighters. Says former fighter and current promoter Oscar De La Hoya was quick to criticize Reynoso, blah blah blah, and so on and so forth. Man, let me go to this. Let me go and dig up this interview because you know you have to give your appreciation and give like when people win their awards or win trophies or belts. You know, uh, they try to thank the person that's they feel is responsible for their victory or help to contribute to their victory, stuff like that. Some people say, "Oh, thank God first and foremost," and then they go into thanking everybody else. But this guy thanked Canelo and Reynoso for his victories or for his victory over Galal Yafai. I thought that was interesting. It's like, okay, giving them all the credit, huh? You want to thank Reynoso and Canelo, huh, for this victory? Well, it's a tainted one, sir. So you just put them out there. How you know?
For a while. For Boxing News, I'm joined by Francisco Rodriguez here in Birmingham. Francisco, congratulations. Unbelievable performance, a dominant performance tonight here in Birmingham. Just reflect on your victory.
Congratulazioni alla vincita per vincere il match e per essere qua a Birmingham, essere qua nella città, nel,
Reflect.
eh,
Reflect on the win.
cosa pensi per il win, il vincita? Cosa pensi?
¿Qué pienso?
Che pensi per la vittoria? Per la vittoria?
Sí, así es. Me siento muy bien. ¿Y qué pienso? Pues nada, está reflejado el trabajo que hicimos de 6 meses para esta pelea.
Look at him smiling and shit. This is my thing with these a lot of these fighters that come out of Reynoso's camp. Um, a lot of them are arrogant. They don't have no kind of what you call it, no guilt, no shame for going in the ring fully juiced up to gain victory, man. There's no honor in this, man, at all. But a lot of these individuals, like Francisco, you know, they willing to just put the shame and the dishonor in the back of their mind and just focus on the prize. I just need to be a world champ. I just need to get the belt. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you, uh, Mauricio. Thank you, Reynoso. You know, while the opponent, Galal Yafai, goes home busted up from getting in there. He was trying. He worked his ass off. He didn't fail his VADA test, but worked his ass off to defend his WBC interim strap. And then here we go. Um, you know, on delay. You just hurry up, and do the PEDs, get in the title shot, fight the best fight he ever fought. Throw as many punches that throw more punches than he ever threw. Land more than he ever landed. You know, have more energy and stamina than you ever had. And now people are supposed to congratulate you. Let's continue, man.
I feel very good. I've been training for 6 months, very hard for this, and I deserve, the win. I've trained very hard for it.
You trained very hard for the fight, and you deserve it. This is the logic of these dirty athletes, man. No remorse, And just to say that, bro, and look in the camera, it's just disgusting, bro. Absolutely disgusting, man. You know, I really want to spit, in the screen, but it'll be land on my laptop. So, I ain't trying to clean off my laptop. But yeah, I want to spit on the screen, man, seeing this fool.
You hurt Galal in the first round towards the end. After that, did you feel like the fight was only going to go one way?
Tu hai sentito Galal che è andato giù con la forza nel secondo round. Nel primo round. Cosa pensi? Hai continuato ad andare duro con lui o...
Sí, así es. Yo sentí que lo puse mal, lo vi, pero me mantuve haciendo mi trabajo sin desesperarme y sin desesperarme.
Okay. I've seen him fall and I've seen him hurt after the first round, but I've carried on and I've stuck to it, even though I've got cut, but I've still carried on with my heart. So
You were relentless tonight, Francisco. Was you surprised that Galal Yafai was able to stay for 12 rounds and he wasn't pulled out or you wasn't able to stop him?
eri sorpreso che
Wow, man. Juiced up still couldn't get the stoppage, man. These dudes got to cheat to compete. And even in the midst of them cheating to compete, they're still not all that. A lot of these athletes, they cheat to compete. And Galal Yafai, man, fought a juiced up Rodriguez. Didn't get stopped, took a lot of punishment. But it just shows you that the extent that some of these dudes got to go just to be able to, put up a decent performance, to put up a good performance. Disgusting creature right here, man. Disgusting. And y'all see the belt? It's the WBC. So, um, with the bias that's been taking place, look at how this dude looking in the corner over here. Fat dude. He know shit is some foul play. But yeah, the WBC, man. Um, with the Mauricio Suleiman, the president, this guy is okay with this type shit, man. We seen how he responded when Canelo popped. We seen how he responded when Oscar Valdez popped. We see how he responds when any Hispanic fighter pops. So this has been a long issue, is that you got these governing bodies, right? And they have bias to their countrymen. So when they do something foul, you know, then you want to come up with excuses. Now you want to make up, you know, create adjustments to y'all to the levels. You can have this much in your system, but not over this amount. When it should just be zero. If it's on the ban list, you shouldn't have nothing in your system that's on that ban list. But this is what happens when the president is the same nationality as the fighter. You know, why Jaime Munguia ain't been suspended yet? How long does it take, bro? We already got the B sample back, huh? Is it because he from Tijuana? Now we gotta wait and and wait around to see if people gonna forget? Cause I ain't forgetting none of this shit. That's why we gotta put up content so that shit is just stamped. So it's records of this shit. Because this is what a lot of them hope, is that a week or two will go by and you just forget about it. Next thing you know, they back in the ring and like it ain't nothing.
I thought he was gonna go down, but he wasn't going down, and I thought he was very relentless. I've kept going, and I think I got him twice or three times, but he still wouldn't go. So he was a very tough guy.
When you dropped him in the 12th round, did you think the stoppage was going to come then?
Tu pensavi che nel 12° round veniva il KO? KO?
Sí, sí pensaba que le iba a noquear, pero como te digo, es un muchacho muy fuerte que aguantó todo lo que le pegué porque le pegué con todas mis fuerzas.
Yes, I thought he was going, to go down on the 12th round, but he stayed very strong, and I don't know what to say. He was very tough. So I've took the win, by the hard way. So
What does this mean for you? This win, what does it mean for you? What does it mean for your career?
questa vittoria, che cosa cosa senti su questa vittoria?
Significa mucho porque hemos batallado por 10 años para que me dieran una oportunidad de título mundial. Gracias a Sean Gibbons, a Canelo Team, el señor Eddie Reynoso me dieron la oportunidad y les demostré que estoy listo para grandes ligas.
Okay. Yes, I would like to say thank you, to everybody that's been supporting me. I've been training for 10 years, and I've been training hard. I really wanted to train for a world title and to win a world title. I want to say thanks to Sean Gibbons, to Canelo, Team Canelo, and everybody else, everyone in my team.
Bro. Francisco Rodriguez, the seventh fighter out of the Reynoso camp. Um, at this point, man, Jiggas, I mean, we know what's up with the athletes that go over to the Reynoso camp. You're going over there for that formula, man. Um, in my humble opinion, man, Reynoso camp should be shut down. There's no reason why Reynoso, with all the fighters that he's had coming to his camp and failed drug tests, should be able to still train fighters and make money. You know, this guy is training fighters, and these athletes that are in this camp are going into this ring juiced up, going in there to um, accumulate damage on their opponents. But like I say, man, and then when these Hispanic fighters do this type shit, we flame them, right? And then you see the reactions. People say, "Oh man, y'all, you know, make an excuse because of the levels." They say, "Oh, they just trying to take Reynoso out. Oh, it's Vada. Vada is trying to shut down the Mexican and Canelo and his camp." Bro, knock it off, man. This shit is fucking pathetic at this point, man. That whole camp need to be shut down completely. I mean, in baseball, it's three strikes. How many more fighters got to pop dirty in the same camp, bro? This is historical shit. I don't think there's ever been this many fighters to pop in the same camp until Reynoso's team, you know? But a lot of the Hispanic fans, y'all like to take pride in this shit. Y'all like to troll people, get in people's comment sections and talk about y'all this and y'all that. You know, y'all love to encourage this cheating shit. Then when some real shit take place in the world, y'all wonder why people ain't speaking up for y'all. Don't want to be on the front line for y'all. Y'all don't. A lot of these Hispanic fighters, especially out of Reynoso camp, man, like I say, arrogant. Like, just if it ain't Mexico, they don't fuck with it. See what I'm saying? And that's why I distance myself from a lot of people. If I see it's a channel that's only pushing one group, I'm not fucking with you. You know what I'm saying? I fell out with a group over that shit because they only wanted to push one group, you know, or push one or two fighters. And if it's an op to the fighter that they want to push, now all of a sudden when you talking about them, you become an op. Well, nigga, I'm gonna be an op to everybody. Fuck it. If I gotta speak real, if I gotta tell the truth, and that makes me an op, nigga, I'm gonna be an op. Fuck it. Because somebody got to speak up and tell y'all that this shit ain't cool, man. Trav FDY and myself has been the longest ones. Cause Trav been doing this way longer than me. But when I seen it, I'm like, man, that ain't enough people speaking up on this shit. These dirty athletes popping dirty, man, and they still getting rewarded with big paydays, customized belts from Mauricio Suleiman just because his countryman is fighting. But all the while, want to give a pass to these dudes popping up with all type of different drugs in their system. I have these Hispanic fighters have taught me so fucking much about performance enhancing drugs. Clomiphene, Osterine, exogenous testosterone, was clenbuterol. We can keep going on and on and on and on. Okay? It's all type of fighters cheating in boxing, but The majority of them is coming from this Hispanic group right here, the Mexicans, the Reynoso camp. You know, y'all want to be quiet when this topic comes up. But yeah, let a topic come up about um Devin Haney's chick or some shit. Let something come up about dudes running or then y'all got all kind of shit to say. But when one of y'all own countrymen fails a drug test, where's the headlines? Like this goofy nigga that's on the East Coast, punch drunk boxing. He loved to push Hispanic. That's all he want to push. Is he talking about this? Huh? Where's all the pro Hispanic channels? Where they at when it comes to this type of topic right here? See, this is when you can separate the real from the fake on YouTube in this boxing community. You could just tell they'll pick and choose what they want to apply pressure to, what they want to speak up on. Depending on what flag and what complexion and what category you fit in, I guess. You know. Then a lot of them want to get upset and feel some type of way when they getting shipped off, when ICE is pulling up, you know, and they want to feel some type of way about other people. What? I have seen some of the most. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, man. Since I've been online just doing boxing talk, some of the most hateful racist group I've seen is the Mexican community. And I'm not saying all of them racist, but I've seen the most come from them. And they be the first ones to try to say other people racist and this, that, and the third and bias. Man, this is nasty work. Beyond nasty work, man. And like I stated, it starts from the top. You got the president that's okaying all of this shit, rewarding all of these fucking athletes, dirty ass athletes with belts, and favorable rankings, you know, all the while the opponent getting brutally fucked up in that ring. And then in post fight interviews, you want to be smiling. Then you want to thank Reynoso and thank Canelo. And this is why I be flaming Canelo so much. How in the fuck can I support a dude who got a camp full of, what's the word I'm going to use? A camp full of lazy motherfuckers. Lazy, man. Ain't no hard work going on in that camp, man. It's just juice. Y'all gotta fucking take shit to give yourself an extra advantage. Jaime Magia got knocked out by Bruno Saras. Now you gotta go to the Reynoso camp, get with Canelo, and juice the fuck up so that you can have a chance to compete and not get knocked out again. Pathetic. Fucking pathetic. And then dudes wanna, like this motherfucker, this dude that y'all love to worship, Turk, right? I had a lot of positive shit to say about this guy starting out. But now I'm starting to really see his true colors come out, man. I ain't been hearing this guy say anything about having VADA testing on his cards. Got some great cards, great names and stuff on them cards. But I ain't been fucking seeing this dude talk about a clean sport. You want to talk about this Tom and Jerry shit? This isn't boxing. This is Jerry and Jerry, Tom and Tom, or whatever you want to say. What type of time is this fool Turk on, man? To where you ain't speaking up on this shit. You'll try to make jokes about making a smaller ring or whatever you want to talk, but you ain't talking about these dirty ass athletes. Maybe if these dudes was on an even playing field, a lot of this Tom and Jerry shit will minimize. You know, terrible, bro. Terrible, man. That a lot of these dudes will rather destroy their legacy for a couple of dollars, man. and a belt. And to make somebody say, "Oh yeah, good job," and so that somebody could throw a parade for your ass when you get back. All the while, you know, headlines and articles all over the place that you have PEDs running through your motherfucking veins, man. Pathetic, man. Let me get this little disgusting motherfucker off my screen, man. But here he is holding this belt, smiling and happy and shit, like it was really hard work and dedication, blood, sweat, and tears. It was blood, sweat, and PEDs, man. What's up, Hawk? Man, big shout out to Trav, man. Big shout out to Trav FDY, man. For him, you know, I probably wouldn't even be doing content related to drug testing because he brought the awareness to me. You know, he made me aware of VADA testing and how VADA testing is the standard of testing in boxing and how a lot of them dudes been ducking VADA testing. I found out when I was pushing um VADA testing for a lot of them guys to get on the clean boxing program, you know. And then when we got around to some of their favorite fighters, then you started to see, you know, them rise up and have something to say and start accusing you of being a hater. Like when we wanted to see Errol Spence enroll in the clean boxing program and do VADA testing for his fights because he clearly wasn't doing it. Clearly was not doing it. But you can ask a question like, "Hey man, why this dude ain't VADA testing?" Ah man, you hating. You hating, man. Shut up, man. Why you hating? Y'all just hating. Y'all hating on Dallas. Y'all hating on the big fish. Sucker shit. He took an epic beating, bro. Epic beating, bro. And I guarantee you, some people gonna get on the front line and say, "Oh, this is racist. Oh shit, you just got a problem with the Mexicans." Shut that weak ass shit up, man. I got a problem with cheaters. And everybody that's been following me know I keep the same energy with every fucking cheater. It just so happens the Hispanic fighters from the Reynoso camp keep cheating, nigga. Straight up. Ain't no change to that though. You know, you guys can't fucking fight fair. Get y'all fucking weak asses out the sport, man. He said all started with Juan Manuel Marquez juicing up and knocking out Manny Pacquiao. I don't know when it started, but it shit need to end. See, he sound like Speedy Gonzalez. Yeah, man, we be crooks. Yeah, man. Juice crew out here, man. And I guarantee you, you're not gonna see no outrage. You're not gonna see no speech from Mauricio Suleiman, the president of the WBC, because he got these dirty athletes representing his belt. You know, in fact, he gonna probably throw a parade for him and shit out there in Mexico. That's how they get down. And they want to say everybody's haters. Yeah, you're right. We haters, man. Yep. Truth is the new hate. As a matter of fact, where's my goddamn matters, man? Flame and shame. To this buster. He said, I don't know what's up with American governing bodies. Well, the governing body, the WBC, that's Mexico. Um, WBA, I believe that's a Mexican president too. IBF, that's a black dude, Daryl Peoples. He's the only black or non-Hispanic president. And then WBO is I think also Hispanic. So pretty much Hispanic ran all of these governing bodies. So we need to be looking at that. That's why I'll be talking about the bias, man. It's an issue. You know what I'm saying? It's a serious issue. Facts, Mr. T says they're corrupt and have minimal oversight, which allows them to do nearly what they want. Chemical X, man. said they need them snacks. Yeah, man. Snacks ain't fucking failing drug tests. I don't know what's in them snacks. I ain't never took no snack, but they not failing drug tests. I only knew of one snack fighter that failed a drug test, and that was Willie Monroe, and he ain't been back since. I don't think. They need a better dealer. Yeah, man. Whatever they using to mask, it ain't working, bro. It ain't strong enough. Yeah, man. So flame of shame to these juice heads in Reynoso camp. And flame of shame to the ones that keep defending these juice heads, man. Y'all can miss me with the comments, man. I'm blocking you immediately. Immediately blocking you. Because y'all only do that tough shit online. That's what I learned. Y'all tough online. Y'all don't do that shit in real life. Hmm. But there you go. Vada or nada. Man, shout the Raz Cloud, bro. Shout the Raz Cloud. Great live stream last night, man. Eddie Roy Noso. Yeah, he ain't been back since, man. So this is the first buster I wanted to speak on today. Second one, Katayev, man. He's scheduled to face David Morrell Jr. um on this upcoming card this weekend. Wait a minute, is that this weekend? Hold on, let me check. Yeah, I believe that's this weekend on the same card with Shakur, Cepeda, Berlanga, and Hamza Shiraz, however you say his name. But let me look that up real quick. Matter of fact, let me share my screen because it was something I did want to play. Once again, this is for educational purposes only and criticism. Do not own the rights to this content I'm about to share. Uh, but I wanted to see what Morrell had to say because I didn't get to watch what you call it. I didn't get to hear his reaction to Katayev felon. Although there's been rumors about David Morrell ducking testing and shit like that. So this article, matter of fact, um, this article, who published this one? Boxing News says he's unfazed by Katayev doping drama ahead of New York clash. David Morrell insists he is still fighting on Saturday night in New York, despite the revelation that his opponent has received a 2-year ban for a doping violation. Oh man, shout out. 2-year ban. That's what I'm talking about. That's the type of real suspensions that should be handed down. Not giving these Hispanic fighters from Reynoso's camp 6-month suspension. That ain't no fucking suspension, man. 2-year ban is a real punishment without pay and random drug tested throughout that whole process. That's a real punishment. And he tested positive for the banned substance clomiphene. Some of you might remember Conor Ben tested for the same shit, and we was making jokes about it because when we did the research on it, um, Conor Ben was trying to turn himself to a damn near female, man. The type of side effects, you can grow titties and shit, man. Might fuck around and have some ovaries taking that shit 3 or 4 months later, man. But a lot of these dudes are like risking their health and doing dumb shit just to get an advantage and get victories in the ring. I get it, there's belts, there's money, there's fame, but like the extent that y'all going to ruin y'all legacy and ruin y'all health is beyond me, man. It says the Island competition doping test was conducted on April 9th, 2024, 3 months after Katayev stopped Michael Luck. I can't pronounce that. In the second round, and just 26 days before extending his unbeaten record to 7-0 with what they win over Rickard's Balanicks. Since then, the Russian has fought 3 more times, defeating Ezekiel. Blah blah blah. Says on Saturday night, Katayev is scheduled to face Morrell in what was shaping up to be an intriguing light heavyweight clash between two top 15 contenders. Says today, it says the promoter, Eye of the Tiger Management, Katayev's management, promoter, excuse me, released a statement in response, including documentation from Bada showing Katayev tested negative for performance and drugs on June 10th and June 30th, 2025. Of course, he's acting all surprised and shit. He don't know how it got in the system. Says he denies the intentional or knowing ingestion of any bad substance. So he doesn't know how it got in the system. Um, all that bullshit. Says it's maybe a problem. I don't know. The drugs, I don't know what happened. I'm ready for Saturday night. I'm focused for Saturday night, and nothing has changed. Morrell didn't express sympathy for a scheduled opponent. Sympathy? Look, man. Says David Morrell, quote, I feel bad for him. He's a fighter. I'm a fighter too. I feel bad for him, but not for Saturday night. Um, this is it's crazy, man. Um, do I even want to hear this shit? I've lost a lot of respect for David Morrell. Just like I lost respect for Robson Consequial, and any other fighter that fought an athlete, knowing he had a performance enhancing drug in him. That's stupid, bro. That's just dumb, man. Ask for another opponent or just, you know, regroup and reschedule, man. So schedule for a different time. But when fighters automatically be like, oh man, what the fuck you mean you feel sorry for him? He not feeling sorry for you because he's trying to do maximum damage to your dumb ass, David Morrell Jr. Maybe you took a lot of punishment versus David Benavidez Jr. to where you're not thinking straight. You know, you got these little slits in your eyebrows and you talking stupid. Let me just play a little bit of this, man.
This is Andy Purewell for Boxing News. I'm joined by David Morrell Jr. here in New York. David, it's good to see you. It's fight week. How are you feeling?
I feel great. I feel great. Feel good. That my first fight, my first time fighting in New York. I'm so excited for Saturday night.
David, talk to me about Saturday night. We did a Zoom interview 2 weeks ago, and there were doubts over Katayev because of his visa problems. News came out this morning from the International Testing Agency that he failed a test from clomiphene, and he'd been banned for 2 years. What do you know, and how has that impacted your fight?
Nothing. Nothing. I'm focused 100% for Saturday night always. I mean, it's maybe have a problem, maybe no. I don't know. Like Fred say the visa.
Whatever, man. You know, it just made me think too. Chris Eubanks as well, because Chris Eubanks, when he was getting ready to fight Conor being the first time, you know, he was willing to still fight him. Chris Eubanks was willing to fight to still go ahead. He was just focused on the dollar signs and not concerned about his health, you know, which is very strange to me, man. I mean, you know, dudes is putting wealth over their health. But I'm not trusting nobody who fucking juiced up. You know, if I'm a natural, if I just train organically and did it the old school way, no drugs, I'm not comfortable getting in the ring with a guy who did drugs, man. You know what I'm saying? Who's punching harder, who got more, you know what I mean? Twitch, who got more snap, speed, more durability, you know, throwing probably more punches than he ever thrown. Like, come on, man.
Do a guy coming here now says the drugs. So I don't know. You know, I don't know what happened. Right? I don't know what happened. I mean, I was ready. I was ready for Saturday night. I'm focused for Saturday night. In my mind, nothing changed. It's like Igor. Nothing changed.
When you did hear the news, what was your initial reaction, and does it raise concerns?
Made me think about something else too, man. Even though, this is kind of different, but Robson, not Robson, what's the dude that Keyshawn was getting ready to fight? Damn, his name slipped my mind. But the dude that Keyshawn, remember Keyshawn came in overweight, and the guy said, "Nah, fuck that. I'm not taking the fight." You know, don't give your opponents no extra advantage, man. It's already a brutal sport. So same thing with Devin Haney. He got to learn. He had to learn that lesson the hard way. Dudes want to take extra. Oh, okay, yeah. How much more millions I get? You know, and they going in there because they thinking about the dollar signs. And Devin Haney got brutally beat up. I mean, he didn't know Ryan was juiced up as well, but don't give your opponent an extra advantage. If he can't be professional, if he can't make weight, if he wasn't a clean athlete during the training camp, fight off. Period.
For yourself to you was going into fight the ring with somebody who had failed the test?
Cuando escuchaste la noticia, ¿qué fue la reacción tuya inicial y si te preocupaste porque alguien que tú vas a pelear falló un test?
Yeah, I feel bad for him because it's fighter. I'm fighter too, understand. But I don't know why you need eat or drink something, So I don't know, bro. Anyways, I'm feel bad for him only for career to him, not for Saturday night.
Um, yeah, man. Plain shame to David Morrell too. You know, Katayev, um, 2-year ban. You getting what you deserve. Um, with him saying he's still willing to go through with the fight, I don't know if Katayev is going to have this fight Saturday and then the ban starts, or if he's already suspended and the fight is off and they're going to get a replacement opponent. I don't know, man. Um, however, man, flaming shame to David Morrell Jr. What you fuck you feel sorry for your juiced up ass opponent for, man? That's clown shit. And Katayev, man, you just brought um that same stigma, that reputation that was on Russians in the past. You brought it right back, man. 'Cause I believe this dude is Russian, and Russians have a history of cheating too. They got a history of cheating too. So it's been stacked up, man. I don't know. Y'all trying to do some Mount Rushmore shit. The Mexican fighters and the Russian fighters, man. What y'all motherfuckers trying to see who got the most, who can cheat the most? I don't know, man. Shit's getting pathetic though. But let me look up to make sure. Let me see. Yeah, Russian professional boxer. God damn it, man. You better BF and Bivol clean athletes. So I mean, it ain't all Russians, it ain't all Mexicans, but it just sucks when you got these underachievers, man. You know, these dudes are just can't naturally. They're not naturally athletic. They're not naturally strong. A lot of these dudes are naturally fast. They're not naturally intelligent. So they got to do other things to give themselves an advantage. You know, so it's pathetic, man. This shit is pathetic. One thing I know is that without performance enhancing drugs, a lot of these fighters, they they wouldn't be shit. They wouldn't be shit, man. They be working in somebody's warehouse or some shit, man. You know, De Los Santos. That's what I was trying to think of. Edwin De Los Santos. Thank you, Uliex. He said Burrell probably juiced too. That's what I was thinking. Like, bro, Because if you was clean, bro, you should not be okay with this shit. Yeah, man. The fight should be off. The opponent, of course, should lose their purse and be banned for multiple years, two or more years, depending on how many drugs or how you know what I mean, the extent, the explosiveness of the drug and shit. Yeah, money is important, huh? Okay. They go in there and get brain damage. We'll see how important that money would be to them, paying medical bills and shit. And yeah, man. Unfortunately, these dudes want to fight regardless. Same thing with Eubanks when Ben Pop. Eubanks Jr. was, yep, yep, exactly. So yeah, I flame Eubanks too. It's like, bro, you are helping the sport stay dirty. Like you giving these dudes an out. They're like, damn, I feel the drugs since I'm still able to get paid. So I get to take my little millions or my little $500,000, $600,000, take my little vacation and just come back. Because a lot of these dudes don't care about legacy. You know what I'm saying? Katayev and Francisco Rodriguez and these guys don't care about legacy. They don't care about, you know what I mean? Man, it said raid the Reynoso cartel. What's up, Brian Kong? Grand Rising, my bro. Hope everything is well, man. I mean, look how people still chasing Canelo. He's dirty. Man, I wouldn't be one to chasing nobody in that camp. You know, best of luck to what you call it, Crawford. Hold on a second, y'all. Hold on. All right, my bad. Says, so why they want Canelo so bad if they are clean too? I mean, these dudes is putting wealth over their health, man. Good points though, Uliex. That's true, Trav. Andre still wanted to fight Billy Joe after he popped. Yeah, man. Super flaming shame, man. It's like how we gonna get some change in the sport when the quote unquote clean athletes is accepting the fights versus dirty athletes, man. It's wild, man. It's wild. So um I'm sure somebody gonna turn this into hate speech. You know, true speech is turned into hate speech nowadays, y'all. If you ain't even noticed. That's why, years ago, I coined truth is the new hate because truth nowadays is, you know, they look at it as hate speech. Oh, you hating? Yep, that's what I'm doing. You know, regular day at the office, just hating. Yeah, man, that's all I got really. Blame a shame to these busters on the screen, man. Straight buster ass ninjas on the screen right here, man. So Francisco Rodriguez, man, um, I hope you get the max suspension, but I know you won't because you're Mexican and you with the WBC, and Mauricio Suleiman, has favoritism for Mexican fighters. So he's not going to get a 2-year suspension. Matter of fact, they haven't even suspended Jaime Munguia yet. So don't be shocked if they hit him with a slap on the wrist, a 6 month, whatever, and we know that's not a real suspension. So let's not be shocked. We just create awareness about this stuff. We keep in our tabs and notes, you know, so that y'all know who spoke up um during the time period when this shit was taking place. Because a lot of these dudes are sitting back, they being super quiet, you know. Once again, this is the seventh fighter to pop out of Reynoso camp. Seventh, you know, 3 strikes, been gone, you know. But once again, You know, you got stupid shit like fighters, so-called clean fighters, accepting these fights with these dirty athletes, knowing that they got something in their system, and then you got these governing bodies, these presidents, not really removing these dirty athletes out of their rankings, not really um, giving them real punishments, banning them for multiple years like they should be. Shout out to the Triple BFC. You know, it seems like they are more thorough. They will ban your ass. They'll fucking take your boxing license and have you go through the process of getting it back, proving that you deserve to get the shit back. But once again, people are so okay with the bias taking place. People's okay with um, their opponents getting brutally fucked up. Like a lot of these people don't give a fuck about Galal Yafai. They don't give a fuck about the damage that he had to endure. Yeah, he gonna get probably the fight overturned. It might be a no contest, but guess what? His fans, Rodriguez's fans, gonna say, "Oh man, it wasn't a lot of. It wasn't only a lot in there. It was only a little bit of amount. It was a small amount in there, man. Y'all bitches, y'all just hating that it's a Mexican dude on top. Y'all just hating. Y'all just hate to see the Mexican champ win. Nah, we just hate to see you motherfuckers cheating, bro, and acting like it's really hard work, blood, sweat, and tears when it's fake. You know what I mean? When you can't do it the natural way, you ain't gonna get no respect over here. I don't give a fuck where you from, what flag or nationality you are. You're not gonna get no respect over here. I'm gonna flame you all equally like I do everybody else. So, you know what I mean? You can cry in the comment section and bitch and complain and try to hype up these dudes like they super elite, but they're not. They're super juice. They're not super elite. You know, they're not on the Mount Rushmore of great fighters. They're on the Mount Rushmore of cheaters. You know, top pound for pound performance enhancing drug users, man. They need to have a list for that. Terrible, you know. And this year is just monumental, man. Historical that um especially in the Reynoso camp, that it's just nonstop. Nonstop. They're like, fuck it. This is the only way we can compete. We have to cheat to compete. So we want to win belts. We want to get these checks. And the only way we can get rich and become world champ, we have to cheat to compete. That's our only chance. So I just think it's pathetic that some people are just, physically inferior and they got to do, hey, look, if you can't fight good, go play soccer, go play baseball, play golf. It's many other sports, man. But y'all want to get in this sport where you get hit upside the head for a living and you want to weaponize it. You want to put a weapon inside you. Because that's what I look at it as. When you juicing up, it's like a weapon. You bringing a weapon into the ring. So I'm disgusted, man, with the Reynoso camp. All the supporters of these cheaters. Um, fuck y'all, man. Fuck y'all. You get in my comment section with the dumb shit, I'm gonna block you and just go on by my day. You know what I'm saying? But something needs to change about this, and it got to start from the top. Turkey Al Sheik is the one with all the money, and everybody is running to his cards and want to be a part of that because they want to get paid. But I would hope that one day, instead of him trying to criticize fighters for not standing there and getting beat on by these dirty athletes, how about you add some drug testing to where you can level the playing field, man, and eliminate some of these inferior boxers, these fighters who ain't really about shit, get them out the way, and then we can really see the true natural talent rise to the top. Because this on the screen, this ain't natural talent. This ain't natural talent. Okay. Katayev, this ain't natural talent. These are some busters. These are losers right here. These are the guys that didn't work hard, man. These are the dudes that always had to take shortcuts in life. You know, I mean, you got to look at this shit because this is the example. The people that support this, these are the type of people that take shortcuts in life. These are the people that was always cheat, um, copying off somebody else's paper and shit because they was too dumb and didn't study and put in the work to ace the test themselves, man. You know, if you had worked hard, if you really just dedicated yourself and went hard in the training camp, you wouldn't have to do all of that. But a lot of these dudes is trifling. They don't want to work hard, so they just want to get themselves themselves an advantage. Take something to give him that extra boost. We can go down the list. There's so many of them. They do that so that they can actually um, look the part when really they not. Andre chased Canelo for years, even when he popped. Yep, yep. WBC loved Wilder and Charlo. They didn't pop though, bro. They didn't pop. But yeah, I mean that's another situation. The WBC will allow certain fighters. They're corrupt, man. They can be paid off, biased to Hispanic fighters, and if you got the money, you can pay them off, man. You know what I'm saying? And then I don't like how they um discriminate against Russia and shit. Mauricio, um, you know, he act more of a racist than he act racist to me, you know, towards the Russians and shit. Like the way he treated Bivol and Better Be, bro. Like, come on, man, get out of here. So that's the root of it. Like I said, I've been flaming the WBC for years, Mauricio Suleiman for years, and these disgusting ass cheaters for years, man. You know, that's really all I got for this one, man. Um, hopefully y'all got something from it. You know, let's just keep bringing awareness to this sport. It's a brutal sport. My heart goes out to Galal Yafai. If I'm being real, man, I felt like he was overhyped. I don't think he was really that great of a fighter, but I didn't want to see him go out like that. I didn't want to see him get beat up by this fucking cheater, Francisco, you know? And as far as Katayev, man, you know, man, you just put that, you just put that dirty reputation back on Russia, you know? Couldn't just be clean. You couldn't work hard. You had to cheat. So, David Morrell, you stupid if you get in the ring and still fight him. And if you get in the ring and fight him, I hope you get your ass knocked the fuck out. Because you know good and well that, what this guy got in the system. They told you. So you should be feeling sorry for him, you know. You should be pissed off at him that he fucked up y'all's fight. And you should be asking for another opponent. That's all I got for this one, man. Leave y'all thoughts below in the comment section. Shout out to the ones that caught the playback. I am the Black Horseman. And shout out to the True Media Movement. That's everybody that keeps it real, stays true to who they are, and does their part to bring this real content. I'm out.